My friends do not watch the fake news anymore because I tend to hang out with really, really smart people and anyone with a brain in them, even people who have never worked in the fake news before, understand how manipulative, how untrue 99% of the fake news really is. The fake news's job, basically, they make their money off of dragging good, successful Americans through the mud, and that's what they've always done. They tried to take down Andrew Carnegie. They tried to take down President Trump. They're still trying to take down America's man's man. You try working in the fake news as a truth teller. Man, I've got stories for you, but that's for another day. The fake news right now is trying to turn America, your country, your neighborhood, your house, into a war zone. Let us never forget that whatever the latest hubbub, whatever the latest show that they're putting on, and it is a show, it is a staged show intended to wreak havoc in your life in order to force you to pay attention to what they're saying. Think of it like that deranged, lunatic person you knew that one time that something wasn't quite right about them, but what they were saying was just so amazing that sometimes you couldn't help but listen, but then as a result, you wish you had never had met them in the first place. Well, that's kind of like the fake news, right? Because the fake news is doing that every single day. They're making a profound spectacle for spectacle's sake in order to get you to buy whatever they're selling. When I talk about the fake news, I'm talking about the anti-social media FANG companies too at Silicon Valley. Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google too. By the way, because your Google search results are the new front page. But that aside, that's just an aside. The fake news is trying to turn your peaceful neighborhood, your peaceful home. Maybe you're in a home that has enough issues that you need to deal with on its own. And the fake news wants to turn your home into a war zone so that you have to worry about going outside your front door because you don't know if you're going to be shot. This is why it's imperative that all Americans go on the offensive. We've tried to be nice to the fake news. We've tried to ignore them, but they keep insisting on encouraging and inciting, directly inciting, warfare across the United States, taking one instance of human tragedy after another and using it to fan violence across the fruited plain. They're not going to stop until they've got your house in the middle of a war zone with bullets flying and mobs raging. It stops with America's man's men and women. It stops with Americans, with patriots. Tell the fake news, stop. Tell them to stop, and tell your friends, listen, maybe your friend is telling you about that fake news story. Oh, did you hear what happened to this so-and-so? And it's like, oh, what a tragedy, right? Except it's a million miles away and it doesn't matter. This is how they agitate a nation. This is how they agitate the most peaceful, most amazing places in America. Tell the fake news that you're sick of them and you don't want to talk to them. If they come to you for an interview, it's like, hey, we just want to get a soundbite from you. You tell them to stick it where. This is America's Man's Man on why all of us, real Americans, must go on the offensive against the terrorist fake news, domestic enemy number one. This has been a message from America's Man's Man.